if you're thinking about writing a book, dreaming about writing a book, hoping to write a book, or know someone who is, let me give you a couple little tips of some things that have really benefited me. First of all, write stuff down. And some people write that stuff down in journals, put it on notepads, napkins, whatever, and that's all cool. But I encourage you to put it someplace where it's easily accessible and permanently held. I'm not a spokesperson for Google, but I like Google Docs. It's very forgiving. It's in the cloud. Doesn't matter if the hard drive dies or something like that. Write it up. Put it in Google Docs and just hang on to it for a while. You don't have to be good at dialogue. You don't have to be good at storytelling particularly. You don't have to be good at editing, punctuation, or spelling. But if you've got the spark of an idea, something that just is gnawing in your head, in your gut, in your brain, and saying, write this down. This might make a good story. Or you're just inspired by something. I've been inspired by a public radio announcement about a dream study, and I wrote a scary short story about it, okay? Write it down. The next thing is, if you're really serious about it, or even thinking about it, look at local writers groups. Go and listen to people read what they've written. You will be amazed. I mean, I think I've written some pretty cool stuff at times, but I'm always just bowled over by the things I hear other people read that they've concocted in their brains. As you go through this journey and continue to write stuff down, again, don't worry about form, everything like that. Just write it down. Write extensive biographies of your characters. If you're writing fiction like I do, that's very important. Start with when they were born, where they were born, all the details. Write down what they love, what they hate, what they would die for, what they would kill for. Okay, write it down. Very little of it, maybe none of it actually appears in your book, but you know those people inside and out. It will help you tremendously. And then just keep writing. I have, with Low Moral Compass, it's coming out in 2019. This will be my 9th novel in 10 years, plus 3 memoirs. Some of those books have just rolled out of me like water. I mean, like the bucket's turned upside down, and I'm trying to scrape it up and keep it in some kind of order as fast as it goes. Low Moral Compass has taken 6 years to get squeezed out of my brain, and it's probably going to be the most highly edited, highly beta-read book that I've written so far. Just write it down, and then if you are in a position now, then when you think you're ready to let other people see it or read it, writers groups are a good sounding board for you. They won't beat you up. Most of the time you'll find good people. If you find somebody you don't like in a writers group, just go on. There are other writers groups generally in your area that you can find, or there are some that are online. I'm available at joeharwellauthor.com if you need a sounding board for any reason at all. I do work with a team of people who are good at editing, who are good at book design, who are good at formatting for ebook and print at very reasonable prices. But don't worry about that right now. Just get your ideas written down in a way that you can easily access them. They're not going to go away. Notebooks get burned. The dog chews them up. Just don't let that happen to you. Don't let the hard drive crash and 5 years worth of ideas go down. Put them somewhere where they're accessible. And again, I'm not a spokesman for Google, but trust me, Google Docs has saved me 1,000,000 times. All right, enough of that. Now, just write it down, and you will be at some point in your life ready to publish that story, ready to get that story ready to go. And when you are, it will be the most satisfying thing in your life. Well, maybe not the most satisfying thing. For me, after a hug from my grandkids, signing a book for somebody is just about the coolest thing I can do. So right on, baby. And if you need some help or advice, give me a call or send me an email. I have a thing called the pitch book, which is going to be out on my website pretty soon, which will have the titles, the taglines, the back cover teasers, the first chapters, and the inspiration for writing each of those books. And let me tell you, if you spent any time writing a book and then you've got to get that back cover teaser copy ready, a couple of paragraphs to gain people's interest, your elevator speech, so to say, getting that written and getting it right and getting it like you want it, you're going to agonize over that probably more than you agonize over writing those 200,000 words you wrote to get the book done. It's all cool. You're going to make it. joeharwellauthor.com. We're here to help.